Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm back. This time I'm talking about ankle mobility, and I'd say without even knowing it, 9 out of 10 of you guys probably have some ankle restrictions that you're going to want to address to get deeper, better looking squats with less pain. And that's what this is all about. What is that about the Big 10? I'm kind of starting to brainstorm about my top 10 mobility exercises that you guys should at least be aware of if not doing. This is one of them. It's a great thing. So you're gonna hop in a band, take an average or a heavy band, put it just underneath your butt, step back, and then drop into a squat position here. I'm leaning over to one side. This is allowing me to put a ton of pressure on my left ankle right now and start to force some change in the soft tissues there. Later on, you can kick out your foot to the other side, but again, this is something I picked up from K-Star that he was experimenting with, and I found it really beneficial for myself in terms of getting myself ready to squat, especially for someone that has tight ankles to begin with. So, if you can't get down in that position without some kind of forced help or a heavy weight on top of your shoulders, you're probably going to want to spend some time here a few times a week. And remember that it takes a minimum 2 minutes to cause change to soft tissue. So get comfortable, think about something else, just hang out down here in a position pretty similar to what I'm in. Try to keep a good back position and kick out that leg, and you'll find that once you do, that'll throw even more force onto the ankle there. And again, just hang out here. We'll do a little bit of studying at the end of this video on what tight ankles look like in terms of squatting. And again, if you are squatting, the goal, since we always want to set goals, is to get it so that you can hit a deep squat with your feet completely straight, shoulder width apart, with your feet flat on the ground. Alright, so it's all about spending some quality time down here and making sure that we keep the goal in mind. And again, about the thought process of actually coming up with a plan of why am I not getting in the ranges of motion I want, what's the problem, how do I go about solving this. So for some of you guys that are asking me questions, try to go through this thought process yourself, try to do some research, and especially through Kelly Starr at the San Francisco CrossFit, about what it is that is restricting you and how you can fix it. This is one of the best tools I've seen as far as ankles and deep squatting. Ankles and hips seem to be number 1 and 2. Alright, you'll find out that if you can't keep your feet narrow, spreading them out a little bit wider and keeping your hands on your toes is going to allow you to at least stay in this position to start to incorporate some of that change that we're asking for. Next off, I think it's going to be a good idea to introduce you guys to the Voodoo Floss. Voodoo Floss is just, oh, and by the way, I have the Voodoo X band, which just means that it's slightly thicker than the original. Anyway, all it's going to do is allow you to put some compression around whatever you're wrapping around. I've used it on ankles, hips, knees, shoulders, elbows. It's just good stuff to have around. It's a good investment. It's pretty cheap, and you only have to buy it once ever. So, whether you get this one or the black one, it's up to you. But it's a good training tool, and especially for someone that coaches. I coach volleyball. If an athlete ever gets an injury, I'm right there to add some compression to it. Well, what does it do? It just puts compression. So, what it's doing is it's keeping the skin and the tissue just underneath the skin firm and not moving, so that the muscle underneath can slide as you go through some active ranges of motion. And that's what I'll be doing in a minute here. This was really my first time experimenting with ankles, so forgive the poor wrap job. I'm sure some of you guys are a lot better at this, but the idea is to provide compression and then go. Alright, so I actually don't know where it cut off. This is like my 3rd time recording this shit. Well, here I am just about finishing up the ankle wrap. It's not exactly the best job, but you guys get an idea for what using Voodoo Floss is like. And we're just going to go through some of the same ankle range motions that you guys would. Again, Kelly Starrett talks a lot about mobilizing at the position of restriction. I don't know how many times I've heard him say that, but it's one of the underlying concepts of mobility as opposed to stretching, is that you're actually going through some of those same movements you would when you're doing the workout. So for instance, if you want to fix something related to a squat, you should probably do movements similar to squatting. It's a pretty basic idea, but it's a nice one. Okay, well here I have the Voodoo floss on my ankle, and none of those work, by the way, as far as stretches go. This caused a good deal of change. You want to try to get down and get some tension through that ankle, and the compression helps a lot in terms of getting that shear and tack and floss going across the ankle in terms of the skin and tissues underneath being separated kind of forcefully from the muscle and soft tissue underneath. 2 minutes per side ought to work. Any more if you can without getting numb. So again, as far as thinking about the thought process of what do we want to do to fix ourselves, think about the problem. I've been trying to think about comparing shoulders to hips a lot because they are similar, and comparing knees to elbows and ankles to wrists, and trying to figure out in my upper body how I can fix problems by relating to concepts of the lower body, which I know pretty well. Well, if you don't have access to a band, here's something you can use, just a pole, and grab onto it and keep those feet shoulder width apart. We can instantly see once I lean forward even a little bit that my heels come up off the ground. So there's the tightness already. And if I could get a little bit better at this ankle mobility, I'd probably find that my squats are deeper, more comfortable, and I'm stronger at the bottom as opposed to struggling through some of those pause squat sets. This isn't an idea I showed, but spending a minute with a 135 barbell on your back down on the hole might force some awesome change on those ankles. So as far as a study, here comes the study part. We'll take a look at a video I shot of some pause squats at 315. What are the compensations I've made? Well, I've ducked my feet out to about 30 degrees. I'm wearing squat shoes, which elevate my heels, which takes some of the pressure off of me actually having to increase mobility there. Form looks pretty good with those adjustments, but we really want to make sure that I'm addressing the underlying problem, and that's the stiffness in the ankle. So Matt Ogus actually did this pretty well, as I was watching him do a set of squats when he came to visit. Feet are straight on, knees out, nice posture. And that's it for this time. Next time I'll talk about false grip. Like I mentioned before, I think a lot of people brought up false grip, so I'll do a little bit of talking about that. See ya.